here we go. We're recording. Okay. So I just was setting up the people that came on this morning early. I moved my chair closer to me for a reason. Those of us that have hips or knees replaced, or even if we have a bad ankle or whatever, when you go into one-legged stances, and I'm gonna use this as a warm-up, but I'm showing you why it's so important to not overlean. And I've talked to you guys about it before, but I'm gonna do it on this one for sure, because I really want people who want to have better balance, who want to do workouts, but who have any kind of arthritises, any kind of hips replaced, joints replaced, etc. It's very important for you to stabilize yourself as you're doing a task like I'm doing right now. See this? Because see, if I didn't have my hand here and pushing down on a little bit, when I go into putting pressure here, I will overlean. And I don't want you to do that. So we're going to get warmed up. And I want you to really think about how you're moving through this warm up. Okay, hi to everybody coming on. We had a great day yesterday. The rain stopped and it was beautiful. People could go out or in. A lot of people did both. Anyway, and I'm writing down all my recipe. Maybe I'll go through maybe I'll get it, if I can get somebody to help me record, I'll put it on my recording so you'll see. It'll give you a glimpse into how my brain works, and that is very scary. Okay, see what I'm doing? So everybody thinks, when you're coming in here, you think, oh, well, that's a nothing move. This is a something move, because I'm paying very close attention to how I'm lined up in this warm-up move. And I'm hoping that you will do the same. So I am just pressing right here on the chair, because when I go into this one right here and I start to come up, I can tell you, if I didn't have my hand right here, right now, I would be doing this. And that's a compensation that you don't want to do if you have had an injury for whatever reason, but especially people that have, I'll say, wonky hips. And I think Marilyn is one of them with a wonky hip. And if you're that person, and I have one too, because this is my hip replaced side. So when I put pressure in here, I want to strengthen the correct musculature. And if I don't put my hand on the chair right here, and I lift this leg up here to 90 degrees and hold it here for a bit, if I'm not pressing right here, I will be overleaning. And many of you will be doing the same thing. So I'm taking the time in this warm up to really help you think through, how are you doing this move? Okay. Some of you actually are pulling your knee out to the side, or you're coming into the middle. I want you to function like it's going to come right up here to the shoulder. Okay. So once I've done that several times, and you see, whenever I'm bringing the leg up, the supporting leg, this is the supporting leg, is soft. It's not bent, but I can tell you right this minute, if I didn't have my hand on the chair doing a little press and really tightening here, I'd be overleaning, because I would be trying to go around the weak muscles. Okay. So that's the reason why I want you to use a chair when you're doing a simple move like this to warm up, as we're doing, so that you really line yourself up properly. Okay. And I could take probably anybody. And that's the reason why it's really good to at least a couple times have a trainer, somebody that knows, you know, movement, to watch you, because many times you don't know that you're making compensatory moves that are not good for your back. It's not good for your joints. So again, last one. See, I'm fixing to come up here. Okay. I can tell you the minute I took my foot off the ground, I put more pressure in my hand here in order to stay upright. And if I didn't have my hand on that chair on this side for me, I would be way overleaning. Okay, so here, I don't have to use it hardly any. But when I come up here and I put all my pressure on this side of me, because this is my hip replaced, and if you have a wonky hip or a wonky knee or an ankle or a foot, same thing, you'll find you work differently. I'm taking the time in this warm-up to help you slow down and think how you're functioning. That's the sum of it. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm going to be using a band. Okay, I'm going to be using a weighted ball. So now, right now, I'm going to continue this little warm-up, and I'm going to go a little bit faster, but I'm going to keep my hand on this. See, I'm not coming up to 90 degrees now, but I'm doing a quick tap. See that? So in the quick tap, I keep my hand here, because why? Because I don't want to overlean even doing this. So this is a very, very efficient, effective way to get warmed up and to do a move that's a little quicker than what we normally are used to. So the first thing that I even will tell people who've had repeated falls is to slow down. Okay. So when you slow down, of course, then that's going to become your habit of movement, which is okay. However, this is going to help you do a quick move. See what I'm doing? So it's this very low little ball that I'm tapping on. And I'm doing it very quickly with the tummy tight, with my shoulders down. And I'm just picking it up, picking up the pace. And it's just a quick tap, quick tap, quick tap. I have my hand on my little chair as a point of contact, because I don't want to do that overleaning thing because of my joints that are replaced. Okay, which it will, your body will just naturally try to avoid any kind of little pain or little, change, and it will compensate. So I'm just telling you to be aware of that, and to not get into compensations that are going to cause you more problems. Okay, keep going, don't stop. This is our warm-up. I'm doing it without arm movement. If you want to put arm movement in there, you can, but I'm keeping my shoulders down, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, breath, breath, breath. We're right down to the last 10. Okay, keep your tummy tight. Yeah, I see you guys coming on there. Welcome, welcome. It was so good to see everybody in person. Take a breath. Take a breath. And that's the last couple ones. Now just step forward, but don't lean. Okay, go back. See, there's my target. See, I'm going to step to the side. I'm going to step, but I'm not leaning. I'm bending my ankle. Okay. Now I'm going to come back. But when you come back this time, see the bent knee? Okay, so I took an extra wide step on either side of this target. When I go back, I'm not going to throw my back. Okay, I'm going to use my muscles to pull me back. And how do you do that? Because if you take an extra wide step and your joints don't function quite the way they should, the first thing you're going to want to do in order to get this leg back is throw yourself like this. I see it all the time. No. Press down on the back knee. Press down on the back knee. Yes. Here we go. Big step on the either side. Okay. Now I got my band. I hope you got a band. Just make a circle with something. Okay. Now I'm going to go back, but I'm not going to throw the back. What am I going to do? I'm going to press down into the knee and into the foot, and it will get you back safely right there. Yeah. Change the way you do this. And if some of you don't quite know what I'm doing here, maybe you haven't stepped quite far enough. See, I want a little extra step wide, almost, you've got your chair here if you need it. But when I go back now, I have to change my mind, because the first thing that you want to do when you do this move, many of us, is to throw our back. So I'm going to press down into the foot and into the knee, and I'll come back by using my musculature here. That's what I want. Okay, so don't overlean. Tight tummy, in through the nose, say rib cage up, press into the foot back here and into the knee. So you're going to want to make your foot, ankle, and all of your lower body work properly to do this move. Now, why am I taking so much time on this? Because we're going to be doing this with weights here in just a second, okay? So again, line yourself up, say rib cage up, press down into the knee and the toe, make your ankle and foot, along with your lower leg, pull you into position, okay? So this is a very good move for people that like to get out and do pickleball, gardening, all kinds of things. You got to flex through the ankle and then pull yourself back. Okay, yay. All right, I'm going to turn my chair around because now I'm going to address back here. But before I do that, I'm going to just take my little band and wake up my upper body. So I'm going to just pull like that, and I'm going to go into a little bend. See that? So it's a little bit of a hip hinge, and it's a folding, but it's not all the way. Okay? So tight tummy, pull, push down with this hand, pull back with this elbow, and come back up. Okay, when you come back up, tighten, tighten, tighten. Drop your shoulders, switch, push down, pull back. Come back up, push down, pull back. Yes, I'm going to keep hammering on this, because this move right here has the ability to be a very good training move for what we're going to do today. Take a big deep breath. See, I'm pushing down, then I'm starting to pull, but I have to say rib cage up, because if I don't say rib cage up and really drop my shoulders, the tendency is to round your back. We do not want to round our back. Take a big deep breath, push, pull. Breath, push, pull. Breath, keep your chin tucked. Push, pull. Keep your chin tucked. Push, pull. Make sure when you're pushing and pulling that your wrists do not break, okay? Meaning you want to keep them in neutral position. Okay, keep going. You don't realize, but when you're doing this move, you're literally, especially when we added this, the push-pull, you are taxing or contracting pretty much every muscle you got, okay? So keep your chin tucked. As you go down, you rotate into your heel, then you come up to all four corners, squeeze the butt. Here we go, push, pull, and you're keeping it low. So people that have especially shoulder issues, this would be one of the moves of choice for me as a trainer to help you get stronger through your back, through your shoulders, and not re-injure, okay? And if you can push and go a little bit lower, make sure you're going a little bit lower with your legs. Don't drop at your waist. That's a common move mistake. Take a breath, pull and push, pull and push, pull and push, pull and push, breath, pull and push. Okay, we got 3 more. We're almost there. Yeah, I know. Kathy's counting. I know it. I feel it. I'm trying to get you warmed up. Okay, so I'm going to hope that you burn that move into your little brain. That is a very good move that I just took you through. And it's a very good way to get warmed up with your whole body, okay? But I did it after we had done some of our other warm-up moves. Okay, both hands are on the chair. I'm gonna tap my toe right back here, okay? So feel how your distance is from your chair. See how you put your leg back? See that? So I wanna say rib cage up. I wanna keep my tummy super tight. I'm pressing down, not hard, as I come back and forth. So the same reason applies here. I don't want to over lean, okay? Because if you've ever had an injury on either side, you have a joint replaced or 2 or 3, I am telling you by virtue of that, you overuse and underuse one side or the other. I'm just trying to really make an effort into helping you realize better function. Okay, so now as I put my foot back there, what am I doing? I'm hip hinging, I'm pushing my butt back, and I'm bending my front leg. The back leg stays very straight, okay? Okay, so after I've done this kind of a very high single leg squat is what I'm trying to get you to do. Okay, see that? So this is such a good move to help prep your quads, getting ready for better, not better, but just heavier work. And it's prepping your back, okay? Because of that leaning issue that many of us have. Drop, 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 push that butt back and come back. Now we're gonna start bringing the heel to the hip, okay? So I'm gonna go back like that. I'm doing this high single leg squat. And I can tell you that if I'm really careful about staying rib cage up, I'm in a single leg squat, see? I'm telling you, my back extensors are working really hard right now, okay? In through the nose, ready? Bring the heel to the hip, and then go straight up. So it's 2 moves. Heel to the hip, and then you bring the whole thing up, and you keep your upper body up, okay? Heel to the hip, and then lift. Okay, one more. Heel to the hip, and then lift. Okay, switch. Take a big deep breath before you go to the other leg. Just do a turn. Do a turn. Drop your shoulders. Keep your knees soft. Yeah. Breath, breath, breath. Okay, ready? Other leg. Here we go. So I'm going to go a little bend. I'm going to take that leg back. Little bend in the knee here. Okay. Don't overlean. I'm going to go heel to hip. And then I'm going to go straight up, really contracting that butt muscle. Then I'm going to go heel to the hip, rib cage up, don't overlean, and then up, straight up. And then heel to the hip, and then straight up with that leg, tighten. Here we go, heel to the hip, and straight up, and then heel to the hip, and then straight up, heel to the hip, and straight up. Just two more, stay with me. Heel to the hip, this is hamstring. I hope, Kathy, you can do a couple of these, you be very careful. Heel to the hip, whoa. Last one, heel to the hip, and then straight up. Yay. Okay, step back just for a second, see? And come down. Step back a little more. I want to stretch to the upper body, the shoulders, the back. Put your chest right through. Don't drop your head here. Your ears should be on either side of your biceps. And then come back up, okay? So when a lot of people do that move, they drop their head way too much. Your ears stay right alongside your biceps. Okay, take a big breath. I have a weighted ball right here in front of me. If you don't have a weighted ball, you get a bag of beans, a bag of rice, a bag of anything, a can of something. Now I'm going to go into a squat, and I'm going to reach and grab that ball, and I'm going to tap my shoulder. So this is a 6-pound weighted ball, okay? If you don't have anything like that, then of course just use your weights. That would be fine. I like you to put your fingers around a round type of an object. That's why I like to use a weighted ball. You can get these really easy. They're a very good add on to a weight training program. So see here, I'm in just a normal functional squat. I'm going to come up, push through the heels, and I'm going to tap my shoulder. Then I'm going to swing this down to my foot and bring it back. So what you need to notice about this move, as you're pushing through and you're coming down and tapping that foot, and some of you may not be able to get down that far safely, correctly, then you tap at the knee. See that? So I'm trying to get you to avoid taking your head lower than your hips, okay? I want you to go down as far as you can, but that does not mean taking your upper body down lower than your hips. Here we go. Swing it down. You go fully into a deep hip back position squat. Pull, push, coming back up. Here we go. Push, Coming back up. Okay, we're only gonna do one more and then we're gonna switch. And then come back. Okay, so you're right here in the middle. Okay, before you go down and go to the other side, so I'll be going like this. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna push my hips forward. I have this weight. My weight right now is in the form of the ball. Do you see how I'm pushing my hips forward? My knees are soft, my chin is tucked, and I'm pushing my hips forward. Breath, breath, breath. Then you come out of it, and then you're gonna go shoulder. And at first, just come right here to the knee. Okay, keep your chin tucked. Come here to the shoulder, okay? You're on all four corners of your feet. But as you swing and come down, you push into the heels. That's kind of an important thing, okay? So everybody gets to take it. Everybody should be able to pretty much do this kind of a motion to the knee. I have 6-pound weighted ball right here, okay? Now I'm gonna come on down and I'm gonna go down a little further. You don't have to, but if you do, you're coming right down there. But here's what you're not gonna do. If you choose to go lower, you've gotta stick your butt back more, okay? Because what you can't do is round your back. So we are in the business of training for stronger backs and not hurting our spine. So as you go down with even a 6-pounder like this, as you go down, okay, you do not round your back. You go lower through the quads. You're putting more pressure on the quads. You're putting more pressure in your heels, but you're pushing that butt back so that you do not round your back. Woo! Just two more. Here we go. Breath, drop your butt just a little tiny bit more. And then come back. Very nice. Okay. Take that weighted ball. You're going to tap here to the side. Okay. When I tap, I'm tapping with the inside of my foot. Okay. So I'm going to take this ball like this. I'm merely going to change it right across my face. I'm tapping out here to the side. And when I'm lifting and lowering my foot, I keep my side of my foot to the floor, and the whole other side is the lift side. See that? And then I just switch. So this kind of a task is a compound move. Okie dokie. Some of you maybe can't think about moving up here. You're worried about this, and that's okay. Okay, so make sure that the toe is headed forward, almost down, almost to your midline, and you lift it as you shift the ball from one side to the other. So you're moving. Drop your shoulders in through the nose, out through the mouth, or out through the nose if you can. This knee is soft. Do not lock it. Do not. Okay, just two more. Breath. And come back. And go like this. See this? Yes. Just like that. Big breath. Now get ready. We're going to go to the other side. So now I'm shifted into here. So what's the first thing I'm going to do? The first thing I'm going to do is push my butt back. Yes, I want a hip hinge. Right there. Tighten my tummy. Okay. Then I worry about my leg here. Okay. So I'm sitting back. All right. Then I'm going to come up. With the side of my foot I want to come up with leading with my ankle. And as I do this and I sit back, I'm going to just switch. This is a 6-pound ball. It could be a 4-pound bag of rice, beans, whatever. So for me, now see, I'm really keeping this leg bent. Try not to wobble. See how I'm trying to stay real firm here as I lift? Yeah, if you're wobbling, you know what that tells me? You're using the wrong muscles. Put your hand here and lift and don't wobble back and forth. See this? You want to come up and stay into this, and you've got this weighted ball, and maybe you can't trade it back and forth. Maybe you can just hold it here, but I'm wanting you to sit back into that hip and not wobble, okay? Because if you're wobbling, that will get you into trouble. One of two ways. You will overuse, you won't get stronger, where I'm wanting you to get stronger. So I can tell you, this side is much harder for me, much harder. Because this is my hip replace side. So I have to use this because I do not want to wobble. The minute I see you wobbling on this move, you're not hitting the weaker muscles. You're just using your stronger muscles in order to do the move. I want you to do the move and get the stronger muscles. So you can't wobble. Okay? Hang on. See, I've got this weight here. I'm holding it, but I'm staying firm. I'm not doing this funny wobble. So that, I really could feel it here. But if I just do this and I wobble in order to do the move, see, that's not what you want. That's not your quality move that you want. Okay. Now, you're gonna get your band. Okie dokie. So if you have a longer band, this is about an inch or two longer. Okay. It's about an inch or two longer. Okay. And I'm gonna put it around my legs. So I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna put it over my ankle like that. See that? And I can do one of two things. I can hip hinge, lean forward, and loop it around and get it into my foot, or like you're putting on a sock, okay? You can go like that and put it in that if you want to. Or you can lean on a edge of a bed or edge of something, I don't know. Okie dokie. All right, I have my band right here around my ankle. See that? So we're gonna do the first one sitting. So we're going to, and again, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up just a light weight. So if you have a weighted ball, that's great. If you don't have a weighted ball, just pick up your weights, okay? Pick up a can. I want you to understand that if you can even get a 4 or 5 pound sack of something, beans, something, that's going to be a plus for you. Okay, so now what are we going to do with our legs? So I got one leg back. I got one leg forward. See that? Now, the next move is very important to this. You want to open at the hip hinge back, okay? Until you feel your tummy contract or kick in. I call it kicking in, okay? So my legs here are not super wide. I have one leg back and I have one leg forward. See that? Okay, you ready? Now we're gonna take and go up until you feel this part of your muscle kick, okay? Once you've got it loaded, then you just tap and then you come up again, you straighten it. So you don't go completely straight. Okay, people with bad knees, that's really hard on your knee. You're desperate if you have knee problems to strengthen around the knee. Okay, so lean back, hang on to your weight here. Okay, you come up and you tap the heel and come up and tap the heel. See, I don't lock my leg. So if you happen to have arthritis in your knee, so that means you've got, connective tissue problems, okay? And some of you really have pain because you're into bone-on-bone situation. I know something about that, okay? See what I'm doing here? So I'm doing a specific strength work right here. If you persist, those of you who have some achy knees, and of course, I'm doing this as a general thing. You have to get a specific diagnosis if you need to, But generally, if we loosen up our muscles here, if they get weak, then we start having knee issues, okay? And if you persist at this kind of a move, and I can tell you, I'm feeling this big time right here, big time, okay? Stay open, stay rib cage up. And you see, I'm just bending and straightening at the knee. Only, I would say, I don't know, about 3 to 5 inches right here. Boom, keep your toe up. Breath, right here. Right in the quad. Boom, right there. Breath, say rib cage up. Okay, 2 more. Here we go. 1 more. I got my weighted ball right here under my chin. See? Okay. Lean in. Big breaths. So I can just tell you that this right here, I'm going to make my own commitment to myself because I want to keep these muscles as strong as possible. So that means if you do this work, that means you have to do some work on the other side or the antagonistic muscles. Okay, are you ready? Do you have a break? Did you get enough rest? I hope so, because we're done with resting now. Okay, I still have my weighted ball. All right. I'm going to open at the hip, back. See, I got one leg back. I got one leg forward with my band around my ankles. Okie dokie. So I'm going to go back. So this is going to make me really work my core right here if I keep my rib cage up. Okay, now if you need to stop and take a break, stop and take a break. But if you feel you're doing sloppy work, then you need to take a break, okay? I know I'm at risk telling you that because I realize I have lots of slugs out there. And you might say, well, I'm just doing sloppy work, so let me sit and watch. No, I won't name names here. Anyway, okay, see, I have my leg back. I'm going to say rib cage up. My other leg is out here in front. I'm going to open back. I'm going to add my weight right here. And I'm going to go toe up. And I'm going to open and close at the knee. Some of you are trying to lift and lower at the hip. That's not what we're doing, okay? So take a look, open back, and you go up with that toe in the up position and you tap the heel. You're bending and straightening at the knee, okay? Make sure your toe is straight up and that it's not going out like a duck. Okie dokie. Say rib cage up, breath. Anyway, I'm going to make a commitment that if I'm sitting doing anything, which is not often, but I'm going to try to do this move until I can do 30, and I still think I could do more, okay? So make sure you're doing it correctly. This is the one move. It's one of many, but it's a very important one that if you could do this and get these muscles to strengthen and have a little more endurance, it would help everything you do, okay? And you have to work specifically sometimes, especially, that's what physical therapy is all about. You've injured some area and they're trying to get you to move that around that area without hurting other things. And so they have to get specific. I tend to, in this class, do a combination of physical and fitness therapy, okay? So I tend to do a lot of moves together. That's a functional kind of way that we move. But sometimes when you have joint issues, especially in the hip and knee, we have to work specifically on those muscles. So if you're feeling this right here, I want you to really take a note. We got to work at keeping these super strong, okay? And many of us have joint issues that it's hard to do some kind of moves. This one you can do with a stinking little band. Now, we used to do this with weights in the class, and if you have a leg weight, great, use it. But don't do compensatory moves. Take a break, bring those legs back, okay? Here's my little weighted ball. It's 6 pounds. It's not like a ton of, but it's in a round ball. If you don't have a ball, that's at least 4 pounds. So this kind of a thing you want to get to where you can do with your shoulders equal. Don't lift one and drop the other is the point. Okay, so now my legs are here. I still have my band. And while I'm doing this, just over the eyebrows, see, I'm coming in with my elbows, then I'm opening, and I'm bringing my leg out and in. So I'm going out and in. And here's what I'm not doing. I'm not going like this. See, I'm bringing the whole leg out and in like a door, okay? So if your foot from your knee, hip, and your ankle was a door, well, you couldn't bend it funny like that, right? So now do the other side. So here's I'm gonna come in with my elbows, open. I'm gonna go out and in. So keep firmness in your little band. So you're gonna go out, practice it without doing the upper body, and in. See, it's an out, in. Okay? Tight tummy. Then bring that ball right in here with the elbows, out, breath, in, out, breath, in, out. You're just taking that ball right across the forehead, basically, because I want you bringing your elbows in. Then I want you to widen them right here to the side. Your shoulder blades are going in. So I'm not using a super heavy weight here because this is a perfect move for people who have upper back, shoulder issues. You don't need to go super heavy, but you do need to get them in this position. Out and in, breath, out and in, woo, out and in, breath. Mac and Ruby are totally unaffected by this whole thing. They don't even understand why in the world we're doing all this weird stuff. Breath. They just want to go out and chase squirrels. Breath, breath. Two more, we're there. Out, in, tight tummy, one more. Get your elbows in, get your elbows in, get your elbows in. Open and come in. Okay. If you were using any kind of a weight, and you were doing this, okay, keeping your shoulder blades down, you were feeling it. I know you were, okay? So I'm doing step down, very nuanced moves that are trying to be aimed at, especially shoulders and knees especially. Yeah, the hips and the ankles will come along there. Okay, we still have our band on our ankles, correct? So here's my weighted ball or my weight, whatever you've got. So now I'm going to come right here, okay? Take a big deep breath, breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, okay? Stay with me, you guys. I'm doing this all with you, so you just hang in there, okay? I know you want to be a little cheater this morning, but don't do it. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna stand with these on my ankles, okay? You ready? Here we go. So you're gonna come right here, and you're gonna come up, okay? Now I hope you guys noticed, I forgot to tell you, I did all that with this in my chair, okay? For a reason. Because I knew what I was going to ask you to do with your legs and everything. I wanted them to be able to swing more freely. Now, some of you don't have to do that. Those of you who are fun sized, well, your legs are leaving the ground anyway when you're sitting in a normal chair, aren't you? You know who you are. So what am I doing? I'm putting my weighted ball down. I've got my little band on my ankles, okay? So I'm right here on my chair back. It could be that you're doing this against a counter. You could be putting your hands on a wall, on a bed, whatever. So here I am. Now I'm going to do one of the same kind of things. One foot is forward, okay? See the knee? It's bent just a little, okay? Now, one leg is back. See, and I want you to step back really wide against this band. Okie dokie. So bend this leg in. And so the first thing you're going to do is just bend the knee and press it back. So make sure that your little band is all the way down into your ankle. And you're just going to do this kind of a thing. See this? See, you're doing this against a little resistance. See that? So it's a bend and it's a straighten it back. It's a bend and it's a straighten it back. Only going to do 2 or 3. Okay, straighten it back. So this would be my move of choice for, let's say, I'm going to say Kathy, because I know she has a hamstring that keeps giving her trouble. Okay, this is very doable. You have a little bit of resistance, see? But if you get to where you can do 30 of these, see that? You're going to be feeling it, okay? That's your pathway back to getting a stronger muscle. You don't want to push it over the edge and damage it again. But you want to try to strengthen and give endurance to all those structures that are surrounding that injured part. Okay, you ready? Now we're going to lean into the front, okay? The front leg. See, I'm leaning in because I'm going to lift. I'm going to tap my toe. I'm going to lean in and I'm going to lift with a straight lift. Drop your shoulders. I'm going to go push. 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 Tap the toe. Push. Breath. Push. Breath. Push. Breath. Push. Breath. See how I'm pushing the heel? Ah, just like that. Yeah. Breath. Tight tummy. Keep the front knee bent. The back leg is very straight. Toe is down. Breath. Breath. And then you're going to come and do a heel to the hip. We did this in the warm-up. Remember? heel to the hip. It might roll on you, so bring it in, readjust, breath. See how I'm just lifting the heel against that resistance? Breath, 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 pull, heel, yeah, bend, and bring it back. Woo, you should be feeling that right in through here, okay? Okay, get ready, get ready. We're gonna go to the other side. I'm giving you just a little bit of a rest. Okay, check my time. Okay, what do we do? Number one, you should feel tightness all around your legs. That's number one. So take a break. How do you take a break when you got something around your ankles? You do a turn. See? You turn. You turn. You turn. Breath, shoulders down. You turn. Breath, shoulders down. Shoulders down. Shoulders down. Okay. Put the other leg in. Okay. Adjust whatever you need with your chair. You're pressing down. Your knee is into the chair. See that? Then we're going to take a great big step back on the other leg. Okay. Tighten your tummy. Drop your shoulders. In through the nose. Out through the nose. See how I'm bending my knee? And I'm just going to go straight against the band. And it may move on you. You might have to stop and adjust. Do whatever you need to do. But then step way back. Way back. Okay. Drop your shoulders. Bend and straighten against that resistance. Bend. Straighten. Bend. Go back. Breath. Bend and back. Big breath. And back. So this one right here, if you are having trouble with your leg muscles, different kind of itises, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, you got to keep moving. This is a very effective press back for all kinds of structures in your leg, hip, knee, and you're even, because see, when I bend the knee, I'm not bringing my heel up. I hope you notice that. I'm not bringing my heel up. I'm bending as far as I can with my knee, keeping my heel down, okay? Okay, after I've done that about 10, 12 times, now we're ready to do the work, okay, the harder work. You were doing work. So I'm gonna lean forward. I'm going to press into that front leg and lift, okay? So I'm gonna lift. I'm gonna stay straight. Breathe through the nose, out through the nose. Keep your toe headed down. Whatever you do on this, do not turn your toe out, because that tells me that you're using the stronger muscles. See, you turn your toe out so that you work that stronger muscle, just so you can lift your leg. That's not what I want. I want you to use your weaker muscle. Keep that toe down and keep lifting from the heel. Breath. Keep your elbows in. Breath. 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 Couple more. We're fixing to do the heel lift. Take a breath. So I'm hoping, like everything, that you guys have persisted with me. So if you are taking the care to line yourself up and do these properly with a good stiffness in that band, it's hard work, but it's work that needs to be done. Okay, see how I'm going to go heel to hip? So I'm going to try to stay down. I'm going to go heel to hip. I'm going to go heel to hip. Breath. heel to hip. Breath. Keep that front knee bent. Heel to hip. No, you don't go touch the hip, but you're trying to bring that heel, bending your knee up toward the hip. That's what you're trying to do. Breath. Drop your shoulders. Breath. Heel to hip. Heel to hip. Woo! Heel to hip. Two more. We're almost there. Breath. One more. And bring it back in. Nice. Now just step forward. And then step forward a little wider than you normally would. Make sure you have a pole or you can hold on to a chair. Then you're going to step back and step back against the band. So you're going to go forward and forward. And then you're going to go back and then back. Okay? Then you're going to go wide. You're going to grab that ball or the weights, whatever you got. Okay? So here's what you don't want to do. Pull your knees in. Don't pull your knees in. Okay? Hang on to your weight. You go down as if you're going to pound it on the ground and you bring it all the way up. You go down as if you're going to pound it and all the way up. So when you're coming down, stay wide, hip hinge, pound right on the ground, straight in the middle, right down there, right there. So you're against the band, stay wide, push into the heels, breath, go all the way down, breath, go all the way down, breath, heels, hips, boom, breath, go back, breath, last one, and back. Nice. Bring those legs in, and you're going to take your band right back over your heels, and you're just going to toss and toss and toss and toss. And if you had a weight, you would just bring one up, grab it, bring it down. That's all you would do. Okay? See? So I used a very medium to light weight for this whole session. But I did some moves that were more therapy type moves, and they can be extremely challenging if you do them correctly, and specific moves to help around that knee and the hip. Okay? Take a big deep breath, and we're right down here at the close of our class. So we're going to do Marilyn's favorite, split stance pendulum. This way, and it gives you a natural turn to your waist. Don't bring your hands up high at all. Then I switch, just like that. Keep your rib cage up. Little recovery going on here. Then I step back and I go wide. Breath, 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 breath. Woo! Come back into a W. See how you're lining up. Take a big deep breath. And give yourself a big hug. Drop your elbows and drop your shoulders. Woo! Pull really hard right there. Yay. Now walk out of there. I hope you guys were able to follow some of those with the bands. That was my goal.